Hi, have you ever experienced a moment where your words had unintended consequences? Or, do you believe that silence has the power to transform our lives? Today, let's delve into the life of Richard, a man known for his sharp tongue and the havoc it wreaks on his personal and professional life. If you've ever faced the consequences of a momentary lapse in judgment, if you've ever sought a way to navigate through conflicts with grace, or if you simply desire a fresh perspective on the power of silence, this story is crafted just for you. This story is not just about one man's redemption but a universal tale that resonates with anyone who has faced the tempests of their own making. Are you ready to discover the transformative power that lies in the intentional embrace of silence? Let's embark on this inspirational journey together. In the bustling city of Metropolis, where the cacophony of daily life drowned out the subtleties of existence, there lived a man named Richard. His reputation was as sharp as his words, and the air around him seemed charged with the static of impatience and disregard. Richard's life was a tempest, a storm that left in its wake shattered relationships and strained connections. One fateful day, the storm within Richard escalated into a full-blown hurricane at his workplace. A disagreement, fueled by Richard's sharp tongue, erupted into a conflict that left his colleagues exasperated and his professional relationships in tatters. As Richard navigated the wreckage of his own making, he found himself standing alone, a solitary figure in a sea of resentment. It was at this juncture that a wise man named Samuel entered Richard's tumultuous life. Samuel, a figure of serenity in the midst of chaos, observed Richard's struggle with a quiet understanding. Instead of reacting to Richard's rudeness, Samuel chose a path less traveled, a path of silence. Intrigued and somewhat unnerved by Samuel's enigmatic composure, Richard approached him, demanding an explanation for his unconventional behavior. Samuel, with a gentle smile that seemed to hold the weight of centuries, invited Richard to join him in a tranquil park where the symphony of nature played undisturbed. Under the shade of an ancient tree, with the rustle of leaves as the only audible notes, Samuel began to share the wisdom of silence with Richard. "Life has its own symphony," Samuel said, "and silence is a powerful note within it. It's not about suppressing words but choosing when to let them resonate." Samuel, with eyes that mirrored the wisdom of ages, shared an inspirational quote by Rumi: "The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear." He explained that silence wasn't an absence of sound but a space filled with the potential for profound understanding. Intrigued by the idea, Richard, though skeptical, decided to give it a try. Samuel, in his patient way, guided Richard through moments of intentional silence, encouraging him to observe his thoughts, the impact of his words, and the world around him. Initially uncomfortable, Richard discovered a profound sense of self-awareness that had long eluded him. As the days turned into weeks, Samuel continued to mentor Richard in the art of silence. In those quiet moments, Richard found strength in restraint, and humility replaced his arrogance. The storm within him began to calm, and a newfound clarity emerged. One day, Richard faced a situation that would have typically triggered an explosive response. Instead, he chose silence. The room, accustomed to his thunderous outbursts, fell into a hush. In that silence, Richard found power, the power to choose his reactions and the power to transform discord into understanding. His colleagues, initially taken aback, noticed the change in Richard. His words became measured, thoughtful, and infused with a rare wisdom. The relationships he had strained began to heal, and the symphony of his life transformed from dissonance to a harmonious melody. The inspirational quote echoed in Richard's mind, guiding him through each interaction. "The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear." He realized that silence was not a weakness but a profound strength, a tool for introspection and a bridge to understanding. In the end, Richard became a living testament to the transformative power of silence. His once rude echoes had evolved into harmonious notes that resonated with empathy, compassion, and a newfound connection to the world around him. The storm had subsided, leaving behind a man reborn through the quiet wisdom of silence. As the seasons changed, so did Richard. His transformation was not merely a surface shift but a deep-rooted metamorphosis. Samuel, the silent guide, watched with satisfaction as the man he had mentored blossomed into a beacon of wisdom and composure. In the weeks that followed, Richard became an advocate for the power of silence. He conducted workshops at his workplace, teaching others the art of measured responses and the strength that lies in the spaces between words. His journey from a stormy figure to a calm influencer became a story of inspiration for those around him. The ripple effect of Richard's transformation extended beyond his workplace. His newfound wisdom resonated in his personal relationships, and the once turbulent sea of his life became a serene lake reflecting the peace within him. The symphony of Richard's life, once a chaotic dissonance, had found its harmonious rhythm. The story of Richard and Samuel became a legend in Metropolis, a tale whispered in hushed tones as a reminder of the transformative power that lies in the intentional embrace of silence. Samuel's silent mentorship had not just changed one man, it had rippled through the fabric of a city, leaving behind a legacy of understanding, empathy, and the profound art of saying more by saying less. And so, under the ancient tree where Samuel and Richard had first shared the wisdom of silence, the symphony continued. The city, once deafened by the noise of rudeness, now resonated with the harmonious notes of a life transformed by the power of silence.